Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video, another one in the series in which I'm taking a closer look at the full body of work of Bob Dylan. Today we have arrived at Blonde on Blonde. I'm keeping it the wrong side up because the record works like this. Nice gatefold sleeve with a blurry picture of Dylan on the front, but I prefer to keep it like this. I mean, this is better, I guess, so you can look him in the eyes instead of sideways. Blonde on Blonde, recorded and released in 1966, recorded in Nashville, and recorded with Chris Christopherson being the janitor during these sessions. Well, much more impressive than just that fact is this album. Bob Dylan is on fire on this one. Now, the first time I heard this album was on a CD. I got this 3 CD box and I fell in love with it. But it was the stereo version. Now, a time ago, I heard people say you should try out the mono one. Now, what I'm holding here is a American stereo one. But I did listen for this video to the mono one. And the mono one is even better. Why? Well, Dylan was present during the mono mixing of this album. And there's a big difference in the presentation of the sound and the total reverb on his voice and harmonica. In the stereo, you hear a certain reverb or a certain airiness. There are these high tones of his voice, a certain nasal tone that sings around the room, and there's this nasal and there's this high pitched element from the harmonica that also in the airiness, the high frequencies, they can be not bad, not bad. I mean, I love the stereo version as well because it was the one I fell in love with, but in a certain way, when the those high voices they start to reverb in the room, it's as if Dylan is cynical on certain songs, or actually on the entire album. It changes the believability of or the intention of what is he doing here. And when I put the mono on, that element is gone. His voice sounds full, warm, detailed. The harmonica, full, warm, and detailed. Dylan's harmonica playing benefited from a little bit of equalizing. But that mix, the mono mix, was the one Dylan was present at. Dylan was happy with. Now, there are some slight differences between the Canadian, British, and the American one. And I was advised to find the UK one, the British one, because supposedly that was the one Dylan was most pleased with. And I found that about 2 or 3 years ago in Rotterdam, and I was so happy. Now I always play the mono, yet holding stereo, because I do love the touch of a thick American cover. My American one is stereo. Now this album, starting off with "Rainy Day Woman," everybody must get stoned. An incredible banger. Supposedly they changed around the instruments. Dylan and his band changed around the instruments, so you'd have a different kind of chaos because they were working on something they were not quite familiar with, which makes for an incredible opener. I'm pledging my time. Good songwriting. Then you get the visions of Johanna. I mean, that's that's an incredible love song, and that is one of those songs that really benefits from the element of mono here, because this is a sincere, this is a poet, this is a romantic trying to tell his story. Then one of us must know. Again, this is one of the best songs in Dylan's discography over. And then I Want You. The quality of these songs, I mean, one after another. I Want You so bad. It's This might be Dylan's most romantic album. You could also say that about the tracks because there is a certain romance in the fact that his relationship is breaking up Um, but I'll talk about that when we get to Blonde Tracks. For now, Blonde on Blonde is beautiful romantic poetry. Memphis blues again, leopard skin pillbox hat. Now that is cynical, but that cynicism survives on the mono mix. Wonderful song. And then Just Like a Woman, one of the best songs ever written. It breaks my heart, and that's one of those songs that often gets into my head when thinking about um, people or thinking about situations or emotions. Just like a woman, so beautifully sincere, fragile. Most likely you go your way, I'll go mine. That's a good song. And Temporarily Like Achilles, absolutely sweet Marie. Okay songs, okay songs. I think the third side, I think this is perhaps Dylan's best album, but the third side is not as brilliant as side one, side two, and for me, side D, because Sad Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, which was written in Aberdeen or about Aberdeen. So a couple of years ago, I was in Aberdeen, and that song just kept coming in my head, and I thought, because we're in the is it because we're right here in the lowlands and the highlands? It's near the edge of the highlands there in Scotland, and I checked, and I was right. I mean, just emotionally, the song clicked for me. Gorgeous song. I mean, that taking side D, there are people who say it's too long. It's not too long. It's one of the most epic Dylan ballads all around. So I mean, in his body of work, Blonde on Blonde is one of the highlights. It's incredible how many good, brilliant albums he made in such small amount of time. But that's my review of Blonde on Blonde. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.